Means you don't have to have an agent to find the right housing in Singapore. Use that service only if you need it. Use that service if you're super busy and you cannot find on your own. Hey guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. In last 6 months, many of you have asked me how to find our right house in Singapore. What are the type of housings that are available? What are the rentals and how can we find them? So to answer all your questions, I am creating a video that is a wholesome guide of finding your correct housing in Singapore. So let's get started. First of all, let's have a look. What kind of housings are available in Singapore? So like any other country, there are majorly two types of housing. One is the government housing and one is the private housing. So let's discuss one by one. So for government housing, the most popular one is the HDB. Actually, HDB is the only government authority that can create government housing in Singapore, and the full form is Housing Development Board. This authority creates homes in different neighborhoods all over the Singapore, and those homes are normally known as HDB itself. The other is the private kind of housing. In private housing, the most common is the condominiums, or commonly known as condo. Apart from that, there are shop houses that are like a shop is there, and on the top of that, there is some residential place to live. That's called the shop house. Or many of the time, there are villas. For example, somebody has a big villa and some of the portion is empty, so they are putting that on rent, so you can get some villas also. But in this video, we'll be mostly talking about only HDBs and condos because that are the most common kind of housing that you will need when you come here. So let's talk about the HDBs. So HDBs are the government housing, as I already told you. And that is why actually, if you're not a Singapore citizen or not a Singapore PR, you can actually not buy that. So you can only buy a condo only in some locations, but HDBs you can never buy if you are not a Singaporean or a Singapore PR, but definitely you can rent them. The common traits of HDB is HDBs are basic. Most of the times they are in a neighborhood. That means there will be a cluster of HDBs. Most of the times you will have a lot of schools or facilities, common amenities around your HDB because government always wants that people should be living in a community and everything should be available nearby your place. So that is why you will find a lot more shops compared to a condo. And lastly, if it's a new HDB, very likely you will not have a balcony in that. So it's a basic housing, but you should not go by the name. Actually, in many cases, some people make HDBs so attractive by renovation or by putting extra facilities that it can actually look even better than a condo. Talking about condo, let's talk what is condominiums or condos. So condominiums are privately built societies. They are buildings or cluster of buildings that have facilities like swimming pool, they have gym, many times they have sports facility like tennis, basketball, and badminton and whatnot. So that is why mostly condos will be more expensive, and it is also possible that because your condo is privately built, near your condo, you may not have a lot of facilities like eating places or banks or schools because it's not a government project anyway. But there are many condos that also have a lot of facilities nearby like eating places, schools and banks. So you should not think that condos are the places that are totally isolated. I am saying that your condo may be in an isolated place or it can also be in a popular place. Now, next question many people ask is, how can we rent them? What are the sites and what is the way of renting a HDB or a condo? This part, I would like to divide it into two possibilities. First possibility is you want a whole unit. That means you have a bunch of friends or you want a whole unit for your own or your family. And the next possibility is you are alone and you want to just find a room. And in both the cases, the requirements are pretty different. And that is why the way will be very different. So let us discuss if you want a full unit, what you can do. So if you want a full unit, you can directly go to the popular websites that are available in Singapore. Two of the most famous websites here in Singapore are Property Guru and 99.co. Also, you can find some deals on Carousel that I can discuss separately, but these are the major two websites. On 99.co and Property Guru, you can search based on your MRT station, based on what are your requirements, what kind of house you want, and it is very easy. And also you can find the number of the agent and the number of the owner directly listed on the website, so you can directly arrange a viewing and go and view your unit. It is also possible that you may find some room rentals in those websites, but it is not so common. And actually, I don't prefer to find a room rental from Property Guru or 99.co because I have other ways of doing that. And let's discuss that one. So, if you want to do a room rental, there are three ways to go. One, and the most effective, I would say, is joining a Facebook group like Flat and Flatmates in Singapore, Room Rental Singapore. And these groups have more than 50,000 people who are constantly trying to get a new roommate, new flatmate, or trying to sell out their bed space, or trying to rent out their master bedroom or common rooms. So if you're alone, it is very good for you to find a correct roommate for yourself. The other way of doing is, if you prefer a single community, for example, Indian in Singapore, or Tamilians in Singapore, or Gujaratis in Singapore, or Filipinos in Singapore. So there are various Facebook groups around that, and you can join those groups. And mostly there also many people want to rent out their place, and they are looking for people from the same community. So Facebook groups are really effective in find the right housing for room rental. Next way of doing it is Carousel. So many people know that Carousel is a buying and selling website like OLX, but here you can also find roommates. You can also rent out your flats. You can also find your next roommate on Carousel. So it is also very effective. You can try that out. And the third way of doing it is going through different room rental websites that are there on the internet. For example, Indian roommates. There are also many co-living space websites like Homely. I think there's a new startup in Singapore. And in that way, without using Facebook, you can still find your next roommate. And when I say roommate, I mean flatmate or flat buddy. So you don't have to share a room always. Now, next important question is, what about this agent fees? Because actually, I tell you my personal experience. So when we first came to Singapore, we thought like having an agent is must if you want to find a housing in Singapore. I would say it is not at all required to have an agent to find the right housing. So the thing is, if you hire an agent, agents are of two types. One is the owner's agent, and second is the tenant's agent. Many agents try to approach you and say that we will find a housing for you, and you can give us half of your rental. That means half of your monthly rentals. For example, if your monthly rental is $2,000, you just pay them $1,000, and they will find the right housing for you. Use that service only if you need it. Use that service if you're super busy and you cannot find on your own. If you go through Property Guru or many other websites, in many cases, if you find the agent and if you find the agent number, they will be the owner's agent or the landlord's agent. So landlord's agent are hired by the landlord, and you don't have to pay them. If you buy from them, then if you rent from them, then the landlord will pay them. You will not pay them. But on Property Guru, you will also find a few agents that are renting out the property, and they will say that you can give us the money, half of the monthly rental, and we will get this property for you. Actually, that is kind of weird because they will not be the owner's agent. They will not be the landlord's agent. They are trying to become an agent for you, and they will try to convince you that if you want to have a rental in Singapore, please take our service and give us half of your monthly rental, but use that service only if it is very much required for you. Otherwise, just try to find on your own. So I hope I made myself clear on that. That means you don't have to have an agent to find the right housing in Singapore. Now, coming to the last section of the video, many people ask about is the rental. How can we know whether the rental is fair or not? Actually, your rental depends on a lot of things. The facilities, what society you're living in, what kind of community it is, what kind of amenities are there around, is it near to an MRT station, and a lot of things. So what I will try to give you a ballpark analysis of my own experience of living in Singapore for 5 years. So I will give you a few numbers, but please do not blame me if the numbers are not fitting you. This is just to give you an estimate how much a rental should cost you. And I would like to start with HDB. So let's see, if you want to get a 1-bedroom HDB, how much should be the rental? So for 1-bedroom HDB, the rental should be somewhere around $1,500 to $1,800. If you want to rent a 2-bedroom HDB, the rental should start from $1,700 and can go up to $2,500. if you want to get a 3-bedroom HDB, the rental will be at least $2,000, and it can also go to $3,000 or even more than that. Now coming to the condos, if you want to rent a condo, a 1-bedroom condo or an studio, then in that case, the minimum rent would be $1,500 to $1,600, and it can go up to $2,000, $2,500. And I have even seen 1-bedroom condos that cost $3,000 if they are on a prime location. If you want to go for a 2-bedroom condo, then it will be at least $2,000, and it can go up to $3,000 or $3,500. And if you want to get a 3-bedroom condo, then it will definitely be at least $3,000, and it can go up to $4,000 or $4,500 or even more, because condos have a lot of facilities and it really depends on the location and the facilities. So it's a bit hard to find the right estimate for condo, but these are my numbers that I want to give you so that you do not get absurdly cheated if you want to get a new HDB for a condo for your rental. I hope you liked the video. If you really like the video, then please press the thumbs up button and also subscribe to my channel. And if you want to be notified about our weekly content, then please press the bell icon, and I will see you the next week. So until then, peace.